Hello and welcome. This is Nationwide, reaching you from the network service of the NTA. I'm Olajide Bello. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.live/ng or on any of our social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Now let's start with security. Nigerian Army will remain professional, disciplined and committed to the Nigerian project by protecting its territorial integrity against internal and external aggression. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Abiodun Lagbaja, gave the assurance while addressing troops of Sector 2 Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinke Dematuru in continuation of his tour to the Northeast Theatre of Operations and Army formations in the country. Mustafa Yusuf reports.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Abiodun Lagbaja, arrived in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, via Maiduguri. In line with the military tradition, the Chief of Army Staff then inspected the Guard of Honor mounted by soldiers of Sector 2 Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinke Damaturu. Addressing the troops, the Army Chief stated that his visit to the theater of operations in Northeast is to reassess, revigorate, and ginger troops fighting Boko Haram insurgents in the region. General Lagbaja, who took note of the challenges the troops are facing in prosecuting the war against enemies of the state, gave his commitment to do more to address identified operational impediments.
And I'm back now to go around the theater, especially the sector headquarters, to listen to briefs from the commanders on the ground so that I can appraise the challenges that confront them and address them quickly in order to make the formations and units of the Nigerian Army deployed in the field to be more effective and bring about the desired stability.
A strategic engagement between the Chief of Army Staff and Yobe State Deputy Governor Idi Badre Gobana at the Government House Damaturu centers around the need for enhanced synergy to mop up remnants of Boko Haram terrorists in the Gaidam general area and other areas with sporadic incidences. In Damaturu, Mustafa Yusuf Musa, NTA News.
The federal government says it will strengthen support to military institutions to enhance training of personnel and build requisite capabilities to respond appropriately to the nation's security challenges. Minister of State Defense Bello Matawalle said this at the passing out parade in honor of Batch 34 trainees of Nigerian Navy Basic Training School on Air, River State. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
After 6 months of intensive military training, these 1,863 trainees have officially joined the service of Nigerian Navy as ratings. Much, no doubt, is expected from the ratings to contribute to national security given the quality of training they received. The minister notes that President Bola Tinubu recognizes the efforts of Nigerian Navy to protecting national assets, commending the institution for the content of the training the trainees received.
With the 1,800 and something trainees that has passed out today, it's a testimony that we have the capacity. All we need to do now is to encourage the Nigerian Navy and to provide all necessary support to the Nigerian Navy and other military in order to come to this region and fight these economic saboteurs.
From the silent drills, armed combat, unarmed combat, to raid operations, the trainees displayed the knowledge gained and their readiness to serve the nation. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Katsina State government has disbursed cash assistance of 20 million naira to the families of members of the vigilante group of Nigeria who lost their lives in the fight against insecurity in the state. Governor Diko Maru Rada, during presentation to the 33 families, said that more similar programs are in the pipeline as part of fulfillment of campaign promises. Awal Haliru reports.
Some of the beneficiaries received the sum of 500,000 naira cash from the state government A total of 15 members of the vigilante group who sustained injuries while discharging their duties were given 250,000 naira each. Katsina State Governor Malam Dukko Umaru Radda, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the state, Abdullahi Garba Faskari, said the cash support program was part of campaign promises.
And currently, there are about 20 number security personnel in various hospitals. The government is taking care of all their bills and necessary support. And not only that, there are other security arrangements, and they will be unfolded by His Excellency the Governor himself.
Similarly, the sum of 1 million naira cash was given to the families of one Lance Corporal with the Nigerian Army who lost his life in the line of duty. A police inspector who also sustained injury received 250,000 naira cash.
We have adopted another measure, that is to take care of any person who has a gunshot, and even including rape cases.
This has really motivated and encouraged our activity.
Emir of Katsina Abdulmumini Kabur Usman, in a message, appealed to the state government to expand the program to take care of more victims. In Katsina, Awan Haleru, NTA News.
Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doyediri has commended members of the state caucus in the National Assembly for their commitment to ongoing efforts at resolving the open Nembe crisis in Nembe local government area in the state. Governor Diri made the commendation while playing host to the state caucus of the National Assembly led by the chairman, Chief Fred Agbedi, on a solidarity visit to Government House, Yenagua. Fred Onwefie reports.
The visit of members of the PDP National Assembly caucus is part of efforts towards bringing a lasting solution to the lingering security issues in Opunembe and neighboring communities in the local government area.
Totally condemn what happened, and we came to console him over those that were killed, were maimed, over the invasion, and also to express our solidarity with.
The governor stressed the need for stakeholders at both state and the national levels to work closely to ensure that Bayelsa remains peaceful and stable ahead of the November 11th governorship election.
And the intriguing bit is that we have a joint security task force stationed there in Nembe. And so if there is any further security issues, we expect Abuja to synergize with the state so that we will be able to arrest the situation.
Fred Onwefie, NTA News.
On to infrastructural development, Minister of Works David Umahi has expressed the commitment of the federal government to prioritize all federal road projects in Nigeria with the use of concrete technology that will make the round roads durable for the next 50 years. Mr. Taviz, while on inspection of the ongoing Akure Ado Dualization Road project in Akure, Ondo State, as part of his working visit to federal roads in the southwest geopolitical zone. Toyin Batire reports.
The Akure Ado Road has been in a deplorable state for many years now, but 3 months ago, respite came the way of the road users with its flag off by the federal government as rehabilitation work has since commenced on the dualization project, which is expected to go up over 90 billion naira. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, during a stop on the road, said that the project is already marked down for concrete design layout as against the asphalt design layout that was originally planned, which according to him aims at giving the road a durable lifespan. The minister was also at the Ondo State Governor's office, where he was received by the acting governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, and other executive council members, where he said that prioritizing federal roads at this time became imperative for national growth. Umahi promised that the present administration will not leave any federal road unattended to, as it is a new beginning in critical infrastructure development.
Let me put it on record that the bitumen imported into Nigeria in the 50s and 60s were of much better quality than what we have today. And so we have a lot of problems in our hands. And that's why we encourage us to introduce a concrete road balance.
The state is in their need of immediate attention of the federal government so as to ameliorate the suffering of our motorists traversing our beloved landscapes.
The Akure-Ado Dualization Road project is expected to be completed within 24 months. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NTA News.
Legal practitioners in the country are positive that the current challenges being experienced in the country would eventually lead to a glorious new dawn of prosperity if everyone cooperates and support government's efforts at lifting the standards of the citizenry. The Nigerian Bar Association gave this indication at the end of its annual conference in Abuja. Olabode Arewa reports.
Apparent on the faces of the legal minds here is the seriousness of the matters they have come to put in the public space. Their usual practice is to address judges in court, but the leadership of the NBA is now talking to the public, using the media as a platform.
Conference identified the need for greater investment in the military, including providing support for civil-military coordination framework, as well as comprehensive endowment framework for critical military facilities and equipment.
Issues of economic development of the nation, security matters, and the enhancement of the rule of law were the main concerns of the NBA.
Conference notes that every aspect of the infrastructure of our justice system requires fundamental rethinking, including our approaches to policing, adjudication, bail, sentencing, and imprisonment. There was also a call for adherence to judicial decisions.
Going forward, the NBA says it is stepping up advocacy for better remuneration for judicial officers and lawyers in practice. Olabode, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide, and it's time to join Adeola in Lagos for more reports from that end. Adeola, take it up from here.
Thank you, Olajide. The 2023 Lagos International Film Festival is aimed at catching them young as well as providing a platform to engage seasoned professionals while acquiring knowledge. This, creative entrepreneurs believe, will help in no small measure to establish a sustainable path in upscaling the contribution of the industry to national development. The creative industry in Nigeria is no doubt a global phenomenon, thanks to the doggedness of content providers, but there is a lot more to be done by practitioners for the sector to reach its zenith. This was revealed at the 2023 Lagos International Film Festival with the theme, Beyond Convergence, the Imperatives of Partnerships. With the emergence of technology and the changes that come with the way content is created, distributed, and consumed, it is important for content creators to equip themselves by developing partnership across the value chain and ecosystem.
This is also why you find out that artists enjoy a very golden age, and then at the end they die in penury.
Features at the event were panel sessions that addressed technical workshop on creative industries, financing and risk mitigation, re-engineering, morality through the industry, and regulating creativity.
So they need to create standards that nobody can derogate from. And if you derogate from it, there should be consequences.
The objective is to protect creators and make sure they get a just remuneration for their works.
If you are doing your content, you should not either deliberately or inadvertently encourage drug abuse or trafficking.
Instead of the infighting that we always hear about, so that everybody can come together so that the industry can be effectively regulated.
Stakeholders alluded to the fact that the festival has broadened their horizon.
And then encouraging us on how to leverage on the availabilities of what the federal government is doing to help and better the creative space.
I see the generation next of filmmakers here. They know that filmmaking is not just all about the glitz and glamour.
We've been exposed to a lot of things we had no idea about.
There are several ways in which we can actually get money to actually fund our movies in Nigeria that we don't actually explore.
After more than 2 months of learning from the Bible as well as intense academic drills, the Shining Teens Bible Club Summer School has ended with participation, with participants ready to apply the theme, pray, create, and connect to their daily lives. Peace Igwe, the brain behind the project, is calling on parents to avail their children of the opportunity to learn by enrolling them in the club. Hingino John Adams, who attended the closing ceremony at Peace Mall, Victoria Garden City, reports.
Members of the Shining Teens Bible Club appreciating God for a successful summer program. After learning the Word of God from the Bible and intense training in animation, digital marketing, math science, poems, among others, they are living better than they came.
It made me discover my purpose, taught me a lot of things. It built my confidence because I was a very shy person.
From faraway United States, the initiator of the project, Peace Igwe's heart, is with the children as she joined via Zoom.
Like we promised the parents at the beginning of this program that by the time summer is ending, they will see a lot of good things happening around their children. And today, many parents have testified that they have already started seeing it.
The instructors say more should be expected from Shining Teens Bible Club.
I can see great changes they have learned. Their parents have even testified of the changes and what the children have learned since they started this program.
Some of them, when they first came, they were a bit like quiet and like only hanging out with their own friends or their family. But then look at them today, they are all socializing with each other, they are all playing.
The grand finale was an avenue of strengthening bonds between children and their parents through family games. Though the summer program for 2023 has ended, Shining Teens Bible Club continues 2 to 3 times a month at Peace Mall, Plot 10, Block 0, Victoria Garden City. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Lagos for now. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. Charity in Ibadan has the next set of reports on Nationwide, but that will be after the break. Do stay.
Our commitment is to promote the greatest good for the greatest number of our people. On principle, we shall never falter. We will get out of this turbulence. And due to the measures we have taken, Nigeria will be better equipped and able to take advantage of the future that awaits her.
We are Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC. We are political parties. We are the pathway to political power. IPAC, in line with its core mandate, is carrying out peer review mechanism for elected political office holders. Performance of the President of Nigeria, state governors, state and national assembly members will be assessed comparatively. This will trigger healthy competition amongst our elected politicians to deliver dividends of democracy like good roads, good healthcare delivery system, good schools, full employment, security, and so on. This prestigious program will soon be shown live on television stations across Nigeria. IPAC, deepening and consolidating democracy.
NTA Television College JAWS is calling on candidates who obtained a minimum score of 100 in the 2023-2024 JAMB Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME and are interested in our 2-year National Innovation Diploma NID program to select the college as their first choice institution. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects, and they are expected to apply for any of the following courses: Film and Television Production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. We also call on UTME candidates who obtained a minimum score of 180 to select NTA Television College as their first choice and apply for our Bachelor of Science degree program in Mass Communication. These candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant art subjects, including English language and mathematics. Direct entry candidates are also required to select the institution as their first choice before they can gain admission into the college. For more inquiries, please visit NTA Television College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos, or call any of the following numbers: 0806-980-9807 and 0803-079-5335. You can also visit our website at ntatvc.edu.ng. Registrar, Announcer.
Welcome back. This is Ibadan. Osun State government has commenced distribution of rice palliatives received from federal government across the state. Femi Afarigun was at the warehouse in Ede where the distribution took place.
Heavy security at the warehouse as local government representatives arrived to take their share of the rice palliative donated by the federal government for onward distribution to various groups in the state.
We have already templates for sharing it when they get to the local government. They have to replicate the templates we have in the state at the local government level, which means everybody will be involved.
I want to appreciate the federal government for this initiative. I want to appreciate the state government, Senator Nuruddin Ademola Adeleke, for giving it out to people that are concerned, people that are in need of it.
Malam Olawale Rashid, the spokesperson to the governor, explained that the second tranche of the palliatives from the federal government is still being expected, saying the state government will soon roll out its own palliatives.
The state should expect a lot. Issue of transport logistics, issue of foodstuff, likely, issue of work hour adjustment for civil servants.
The 6,300 bags of rice will be distributed to 372 beneficiary groups in the state. Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
Meanwhile, an appeal has gone to the federal government to save the poultry farming sector from total collapse as a result of scarcity of poultry feed, lack of purchasing power of consumers, and insecurity of poultry farmers in the country. This came to the fore as poultry farmers in Ijebu-Ode embarked on a peaceful protest to bring home their demands. Anthony Ganjunu has the details.
Poultry farming is a thriving business which contributes 6 to 8% of the country's gross domestic product annually. The sector also enhances food security, reduce unemployment, as well as improve the nutritional value of citizenry. However, the recent hardship in the country occasioned by the subsidy removal has affected the sector, forcing many to fold up while those left are struggling to remain in business. This informs the peaceful protest by the association in Ijebu-Ode to appeal to the federal government to consider the sector in the formulation of its economic policies and programs.
We are facing challenges of feeding our animals, and the constituent of the feed, which 50% is maize, is scarce around the nation now.
These challenges have affected the entire value chain of poultry business, including production and sales of produce.
A sector that is doing 6% to your GDP should be given a special status. What we are asking for now is for government to give poultry a special status in the scheme of activities within the Nigerian economy.
The stakeholders called for immediate solutions to avert total collapse of the poultry sector. In Ijebu-Ode, Anthony Gandonu, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. It's back to Olajide in Abuja for continuation of Nationwide.
Many thanks, Charity. Anti-political martyrs. Cross River chapter of the governing All Progressive Congress has passionately appealed to the national leadership of the party to reconsider the state for the office of National Women Leader. Major stakeholders of the party from the state made the appeal during a peaceful protest to the party national secretariat to call for the return of the office from Edo to Cross River State, being the only South state with a sitting governor.
It has always been between Cross River State and Akwa Ibom State. But this time around, our tenure has not even expired. You understand? Our tenure is still on. So we are praying that the party should look into it and give us our slot back from Cross River State.
The delegation also spoke on the appointment of Niger Delta Development Commission as it pertains to the state.
The nomination of a PDP member that fought us during elections, that the nomination should come from the PDP to represent Cross River State in NDDC board. What is meant for us should be given to us.
The stalwarts pledged their continued loyalty to the supremacy of the party as always and commended the exemplary leadership of the president and party chairman in the country. Inauguration of the Kogi State National Governorship Campaign Council for the APC held in Lokoja has 199 members sworn in by the party's national chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje. He tasked the members to work diligently to secure victory for the party in the upcoming November governorship election in the state. Solomon Ayidei reports.
Gathering of APC chieftains and stalwarts from across the country in Lokoja, the capital of Kogi State, underscores the significance of the official inauguration of the members of the Kogi State National Governorship Campaign Council of the All Progressives Congress, APC, for the November 11 governorship election. The delegation from the National Working Committee of the party was led by the national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, comprising 191 campaign council members who represent a diverse range of professionalism, experience, and perspectives, and united by their shared commitment to the party's structure and ideals. The council is chaired by the governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun. The governors of Lagos, Niger, Kaduna, Benue, and Kogi states will serve as co-chairmen. The council's primary objective is to ensure victory for the APC and its governorship candidate Usman Ahmed Ododo in the November polls in Kogi State.
So with this brief, I now formally inaugurate the National Campaign Council for gubernatorial election in Kogi State.
The national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, charged the campaign council to conduct issue-based campaigns and collaborate with all stakeholders to secure victory for the party.
Let me assure you, with the caliber of this campaign council, we will provide everything that you need, all the resources and logistics that we got to do in this election.
The Kogites believe in APC, believe in my leadership. And of course, the product we are marketing is already a sellable product.
This is a done deal, I can assure you.
They expressed confidence that the party's candidate will win to build upon the legacies of the present administration in the state. With the inauguration of the council, the campaign is expected to commence in earnest in preparation for the election in Kogi State. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
A team of INEC-registered civil society organizations and consultative partners have urged INEC to ensure that results of the off-cycle elections in Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa states are viewed on its portal directly from the polling units in real time in line with the Electoral Act of 2022. Kenneth Nanim reports.
INEC has scheduled November 11, 2023 for the Imo, Bayelsa and Kogi governorship elections. To guarantee credible polls in the three states, the CSOs are urging INEC to maintain the integrity of the voters' register, efficient operation of the BVAS machines and timely deployment of logistics, especially in the riverine areas. The group is also raising concerns on the conduct of security agencies and other stakeholders before, during and after the elections and urged INEC to prosecute those found culpable.
We encourage every eligible voter in Bayelsa, Kogi and Imo states to participate in the electionary process by ensuring that they have their PVC handy and come out en masse to cast their votes and be counted. Vote buying is a cancer trying to destroy our democracy. We therefore implore you, voters, to say no to vote buying and no to vote selling.
Applauding the gains recorded in the previous elections as a result of ICT deployment, the concerned groups urged stakeholders to discourage violence and support judicial reforms that will further improve Nigeria's electoral processes. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Inclusivity in governance has been identified as a veritable way to address the yearnings and developmental demands of the people of the FCT. This is the leadership model that the member representing Amak Buhari Federal Constituency, Chinedu Joshua Obika, is adapting to bring effective development to the people. This is reviewed at the first Amak Buhari Indigenous Youth Summit in Abuja. Abdullah Ajay reports on the interactive session.
In this hall are youth representatives from the 5 ethnic indigenous people of Amak and Buhari area councils of the FCT, interacting with the member representing Amak Buhari Federal Constituency for a vision-driven leadership devoid of parochial sentiments that most often becloud human and material development. The convener of the first Indigenous Youth Summit says, this is to lay a foundation pathway to work for the people as a leader who wants to listen to the demands of his people.
I deemed it fit that the first thing that I have to do is to interact with them, to put a platform where they can listen to me. This time is not politics. To tell them the needs, why we should work together, and to tell them the areas that I think that I will be able to do something that will better their lives.
Speakers who took turns to discuss critical issues around youth development and opportunities re-emphasized total emancipation and well-being of the youth through the provision of quality education and employment opportunities.
They must put in place means to educate the children. Our youth need education. The only factor we need to, live side by side with Otto Nigeria is to be educated.
The idea that it has this summit, do not just see it as a small idea. By tomorrow you may see other people in different states copying what he's doing.
We talked about employment for the youth, empowerment also, and being inclusive.
The legislator said a constituency office has already been opened in order to interface effectively with his constituent, with more projects in sight. Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
You're still on to Nationwide, and Fatima in Makadi is ready to bring us the next set of reports. Fatima?
Hello and welcome to Makudi. Residents of Api community in Makudi metropolis can now heave a sigh of relief as the life-threatening 33 kVA tower about to collapse along the Makudi-Otukpo Federal Road is beginning to receive attention. Charles Abba, who went to the site, reports that the situation is caused by vandalism of parts of the tower.
In Makudi, there is a situation where a pole line of high tension power is leaning to the road, and it poses danger to both commuters and the communities. Some residents around the area said they did not find the situation funny.
We are so scared about the high tension because if we fell down, we are all at risk and our life will be in danger.
I feel very worried when I saw this thing, but now that I saw some jet people coming around to repair it, we feel very happy and we pray that they should do it on time so that it will not cause havoc.
The tilting of the 33 kVA tower pole is as a result of the activities of vandals. Acting General Manager, Transmission Company of Nigeria, Makurdi, Ahmed Yakubu explains.
This tower is not belongs to TCN. This tower is feeding North Bank and Barrack Road because we have various feeders, 33 kV feeders. We have the NNPC, we have Makodi, we have many feeders.
He maintains that vandals have continued to cut away most of their transmission facilities. The regional network engineer, JED Ohaba Godwin, also sheds more light.
The tower job is not the job you jump up a day and then fix. You have to do proper planning because nobody budgeted or prepared for vandals activities like this. And we discovered, as I speak to you, 3 additional towers are vandalized. And that is why you see we've not been able to erect this one that is collapsing. Now for the collapsing one, work as I speak to you is in progress. A crane that is supposed to suspend it for us to bring down the cable is what the little hitches we are having.
The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has the mandate to clamp down on vandals. How far have they gone this year?
We have made a lot of series of meetings together with the youths, the vigilantes, and the traditional leaders to be able to stop the menace.
In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
The Benue State government has assured the Nigerian Air Force of its commitment towards addressing the land encroachment challenges at the Air Force Base Makurdi by the host community. Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia gave the assurance when the Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command, Air Vice Marshal Francis Edosa, visited him at the Government House Makurdi. Simbiat Agbaji reports.
The Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command Makurdi, Air Vice Marshal Francis Edosa, who was accompanied on the visit by senior officers and men of the command, appreciated the government and people of the state for the long-standing cordial relationship they have maintained over the years. He promised to give priority to emerging security challenges, especially in synergizing with other security agencies for the protection of lives and property.
While we appreciate these remarkable efforts, permit me to bring to your awareness a few issues. Finding a lasting solution to land disputes between the Nigerian Air Force Base and the neighboring communities. The second issue, sir, that we will need your intervention is for you to help facilitate the urgent intervention of the federal government in the repairs of the Makurdi Boko Road.
Reverend Father Hyacinth Alia pledged the support of his administration and promised that the state government will address the issue of encroachment on the NAV-based land.
I've spoken to the community on the need for us to bring some lasting solutions to this. I want to assure you that the state government will be all willing to go all out there to ensure that you have your peace and you stay comfortably by your borderlines so that there will be no further encroachment on this piece of land.
He further appreciated the Nigerian Air Force for their effort towards ensuring peace in the state. In Makurdi, Simbiat Agbaji, NTA News.
And that's it from Makurdi. Nationwide continues with Mary in just after this break.
Nigeria means unity.
Nigeria means freedom to me.
Nigeria means greatness to me.
Nigeria is indivisible. There is nothing you can do. We all have to savage it together and learn to love each other. We are indivisible.
As a mother and a leader, I will always preach for peace and unity in this country, because that is the only thing that will give us progress.
Though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand, and it is the woman that does that.
For procurement of contract, partnership, promotion, publication, manufacturing, STBS, start times, lectures, ICT and training, production and sales, TV expos, events, local and international roadshows, exhibition, both local and international. We are at Area 11 Garikia, Abuja, opposite Abuja Geographical Information System, AGES, or visit our website www.ntatve.com.ng and our social media platforms, Twitter at NTA TV Enterprise, Facebook, NTA TV Enterprise, Instagram at NTA TV Enterprise, and these numbers on 070-3502-6056, 090-19557180.
Next week, we visit the Government Day Junior School and see the work undertaken to rejuvenate the school. And our featured story shows just how quickly your life can change. Femi was having fun on a beach when he decided to go for a swim in the ocean. The sequence of events left him a quadriplegic. Fortunately for Femi, his determination has given him the opportunity to rebuild his life again.
Searching lives.
Thanks for joining us here in Jos. In an effort to ensure lasting peace in communities affected by crisis in Plateau State, the 26-member committee chaired by Justice Daniel Longji visited Mangu and Bokas local government areas where it interfaced with community leaders. Ndayang and Debagang reports that the committee was constituted by the leadership of Operation Safe Haven.
The leadership of Operation Safe Haven constituted the Peace Committee following its commitment to ensuring that peace returns to communities affected by crisis. In continuation of its assignment, members of the Peace Committee, led by Justice Daniel Longji, retired, were in Mangu to interface with victims and other stakeholders on ways of restoring peace in the community. The committee was at the palace of Mishkaka Magavu, John Hillstein, to pay homage and intimate him of its assignment. The committee was also in Bokas, where members met with the traditional rulers.
As an advocate for peace, I laud the initiative of the GOC, who thought it wise that this be instituted.
This meeting is to sensitize them, and we will get representatives to fix into our committee, and then we will go on with the real work. And the real work is advocacy, meeting with the committee leaders and communities to ensure that we live in peace.
The committee is expected to visit other local government areas affected by the crisis in Jos, Nigerian, and the Abuja. NTA News.
Pig farmers in Plateau State have received palliatives to cushion the effect of flood disaster which occurred in 2022. Felicia Daliop Samaila reports that the gesture is from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in collaboration with Plateau State Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
This palliative is a welcome development as it will assist in piggery production to further boost agricultural value chain of the nation. The pig farmers are optimistic that the gesture will encourage them to do more, thereby making the state a major supplier of pork in the country, considering its present high demand.
I'm going to use it to boost pork meat in Plateau State.
This assistance will go a long way in cushioning the effects of the flood that affected our farms.
We can only assure you that with this, you have spurred us to work harder.
Plateau State Commissioner for Agriculture, assured them of government's commitments to introduce new programs that will benefit farmers. He advised them to adopt strategies for sustainable business through insurance policies to avoid further losses.
I would also like to speak carefully to the farmers to graduate from the ordinary agriculture that you do into agribusiness that seeks to edge against all of the risk that is involved in your production process.
This intervention, I believe it will cushion the effect of these flood victim farmers, and we pray and hope for more of such intervention.
Each pig farmer went home with 5 bags of feeds and 5 liters of disinfectants. In Jos, Felicia Dalio, Samaila, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Jos. Nationwide continues in Abuja with Olajide.
Many thanks, Mary. And to fuel subsidy removal palliatives, the Adamawa State government has commenced distribution of 60,000 bags of rice to the vulnerable persons in the state as a palliative measure to cushion the effect of fuel subsidy removal. Yusuf Jika reports that this is the first phase of the exercise.
It is a moment greeted with smiles on the faces of vulnerable persons in Adamawa State as they went home with bags of rice free of charge to ameliorate some of their difficulties occasioned by fuel subsidy removal. Muhammad Bazar, who is one of the beneficiaries, said the gesture will help in not small measure in addressing their food-related challenges.
Today, I thank God. At least I have something to eat. I'm grateful to Almighty God. I don't have anything to say, apart from to say, may He be blessed.
We don't have anything at home like to eat or something, but with this at least we can manage it.
Governor Amadou Morofentry, who flagged off the statewide sharing of food items, said government has adopted several measures geared towards mitigating the impact of the fuel subsidy removal, to include 10,000 naira monthly allowance to civil servants and pensioners, full implementation of minimum wage to local government workers, provision of fertilizer and food items, as well as procurement of buses to ease the transportation hardship faced by the people. He said food items will be shared free to the poor and vulnerable persons in the state.
Committee members and the elites should be sidelined in this template, while the poor household should be favored.
Secretary to the Adamawa State Government, who is the chairman, coordination and distribution of palliative, Awal Tukur, promised judicious distribution of the items. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
In a bid to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal on citizens and residents of Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodinma has flagged off the distribution of palliatives. Faith Iguelo reports.
Governor Hope Uzodinma says the offer of automatic employment to graduates of any of the tertiary institutions in the state who bag a first-class degree or in the alternative is aimed at rewarding academic excellence among students in the state.
Automatic employment or postgraduate scholarships, depending on the one the student will prefer.
In her address, the Provost, Avanikoku Federal College of Education, Dr. Stella Ngozi Lemechi, acknowledged the institution's 6 decades of providing quality education.
The remarkable efforts of our amiable governor, distinguished Senator Hope Uzodinma, CON, in achieving the milestone. His unwavering commitment and political sagacity have not only restored our university status, but also laid the foundation for a promising future.
In Owerri, I am Faith Iguilo, NTA News.
I'm sorry about that mix-up. That was actually Governor Hope Uzodinma promising first-class citizens job in Imo State. Now, state governments in the southeast have swung into action to ensure effective and even distribution of the federal government palliative to states to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal. Chidi Okorofo reports that in Enugu and Ebonyi states, committees charged with the responsibility were urged to discharge their duty with transparency to those in their need of them.
As part of measures to mitigate the impact of the fuel subsidy removal, the federal government approved the sum of 5 billion naira to each state of the federation to complement the effort of the federal government in that regard. Enugu State Governor Peter Mba inaugurated Palliatives Distribution Committee with the mandate to ensure transparency and speedy distribution of the palliatives. Part of the palliatives to support the people of the state is to provide mass transit buses and other measures.
The state have evolved a strategy to make sure that this amount of money gets to the people destined for it. The very essence of integrity, the traditional ruler and people of repute, so that they will outline the names of persons cross-checked with the ones we already have.
So right now, the committee is still working out the modalities. So as soon as these modalities is concluded, now the people, this palliative will be shared.
Enugu State Commissioner for Human Development and Poverty Eradication added that the state government will soon commence the distribution of palliatives, stressing government's decision to decentralize the management of the palliative. Residents commended the government for the initiative and called for speedy rollout of the palliatives in Enugu. Chidi Okorofo, NTA News.
Now let's join on Lale Kilajulu for stories making the headlines in the sporting world.